sis, is he really a poor communicator, or are you a conversation bully? I've said this before, and I feel like it's worth saying again. So many times as women, we'll get these ideas in our head and we just gonna run with it. We gonna take over the conversation, and then we'll give the illusion that we're gonna allow him to say something. And as soon as he says something we don't like, we jump back in and we take over the conversation again. So then when he shuts down, or when he stops talking to you, or when he starts talking to another woman because she makes him feel emotionally safe, she hears him, she allows him to say whatever it is he needs to say, then we want to get mad because he's not communicating with us, or we want to get mad because he's talking to another woman about us or about what's going on in our relationship. Like, you should be talking to me, sis. He tried to talk to you and you wouldn't let that man get a word in. So all I'm saying is, before you accuse him of being a poor communicator, take a look at how your conversations go, especially when you're mad, or especially when you're on a rampage. Do you even give that man the space to say whatever it is he needs to say without you making him feel like he can't?
I love this. Okay. I love everything that this woman said, because it's so true, right? I love that Sister Shahrazad Ali, years ago, she when she was doing the press tour for her book, so you know how long ago that was, she was saying that nobody can out argue us, right? As women, you know, we are I believe that our mind goes 100 miles an hour. We're always thinking about doing this, doing that, multitasking. We can do this, we can do that. While we're doing something right here, we're thinking about what we're going to do next. And this is a problem for a lot of women, because they're putting the cart before the horse every single time, or the horse before the cart. I'm not sure how the saying goes, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. And a lot of women, they get into this routine that they're kind of jumping the gun when it comes to conversations, when it comes to things that needs to be done, when it comes to, making the next steps and the next moves in relationships, instead of kind of slowing down, calming down, taking a breath before moving on to the next step. And this is actually something that is a huge fault when it comes to women, right? This is a trait that can cause women to lose their jobs, right? Because they begin to be looked at as, argumentative, or, very emotionally involved in certain situations, because they get so wound up and they just keep going and going and going and unleashing and trying to talk over people, trying to prove how much knowledge they have and how much knowledge this other person doesn't have, always trying to prove that they know the most information. And in my opinion, this is also a sense of control, right? So this is controlling the conversation. It's controlling how you want it to go. If his response is not something that is, comforting you and comforting your feelings or your emotions, then you take over the conversation, as this woman says, and now you redirect it in another way so that you can continue whatever narrative that you want pushed. So that way you can have the conversation and have the dialogue that you wanted to have in the way that you wanted to have it. And that is not cooperation. That is basically saying, you're an extra here, I'm the main character, and so you're going to follow my lead. You're going to say what I want you to say. You're going to react how I want you to react. And if there's anything outside of that, I'm going to, again, take the reins on this conversation and steer it back to how I want it to go, because I'm the one who started the conversation to begin with. The worst thing that could happen, and a lot of women really don't know this, the worst thing that could happen is when you have a man who you have been in a relationship with this person, and he has been communicating with you, telling you his feelings, what he feels about things, his opinions, and you realize that you wake up one day and all of a sudden, after you get out of your own bubble, after you start to realize that, oh wait, there's not a whole bunch of communication coming from, an outside source. I realize I'm the only one that's talking, and he's just saying yes and no and disagreeing with me. You see, once your man stops communicating with you, just know that you've hit a place in your relationship that is very possible that you will not be able to come back from. Because not only did you just realize that he's not communicating, now you have to run the tape back and figure, how long has he stopped communicating with me? How long has it been since he's expressed his feelings to me? How long has it been since he's expressed his emotions to me? How long has it been since he's expressed his disapproval of some of my actions or some of the things that I've done? How long has it been? And sometimes when you dial it back, you realize it's been a really long time. So where is he releasing? Where is he communicating? Where is his soft place to land? I love that this woman used the term conversation bully. I love that she used that. Because not only do women bully the conversations when it comes to their relationships, they do it with their friends too. But you see, as women get so used to it. Women get so used to for fighting for the spot that a lot of times when women are communicating with each other, when they over talk each other, when they're double talking, when this person is competing to say something, they're so used to it that they don't find fault in it. So there's no correction there. But then they come home and they use that same kind of energy. You know, they go to brunch with their homegirls, over talk each other, you know, do this, do that. Nobody's offended. They come home and they treat their man with that same energy. And he's not a woman. He's looking at you like, so what did you want to talk to me for? Because everything I'm saying, you're over talking me. You're telling me why that does or does not make sense. You're trying to tell me how I should think or how I should feel or what my response should have been. Instead of actually hearing me, communicating with me, listening. I'm sure we were all told this when we were younger. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. For women, it seems like, you know, you would almost think that we have 2 mouths. You'd almost think that we have more than 1 and 1 ear. Because women are so eager to get their emotions out and get their feelings out and overly communicate and share ideas and share this and share that. And the sweet spot is usually the part where you're not communicating with your words. A lot of it is energy. A lot of it is feelings. Sometimes you need to take that dial and push it all the way back to 0. We have too many women that are resonating with such a high, intense energy. And, you know, they're trying to use that energy to get things done and take care of this and take care of that. And, you know, make sure that they do all these things on the list. And that's not the energy to do it in. Because it causes chaos. You start saying things that you didn't mean to say. You start over talking. You start being disrespectful because you're on edge. You're moving too quick. A lot of it has to do with some of the foods y'all eating. A lot of it has to do with the coffee you're drinking. But that's for a whole nother conversation. A lot of you are on edge all the time. Racing to the finish line. While your man is just standing there looking at you like, okay, whenever you relax, whenever you calm down, let me know. Whenever I feel like I can talk to you and it won't be the 2 of us swinging. I'm trying to, you know, duck and weave to get a word in. Let me know. A lot of women don't really understand where our power lies. They think that our power lies in saying how much we know and all the knowledge that we acquire and, you know, dictating conversations and control and exuding like leadership and doing all these things. A lot of women think that that's where our power lies, and that's really not true. Our power resides in peace. Do you understand that you don't have to race to the finish line when you're communicating with somebody and they feel peace coming from you? They are willing to listen to anything that you have to say. They're willing to hear you because they're not feeling like it's going to be a tit for tat or an attack. They have no problem slowing down and listening when it's your turn to speak and hearing everything that you have to say because of the energy that you come with. A lot of women are conversation bullies, and this is true, right? A lot of women are conversation bullies because they feel like they can't get a word in, or they feel like they're communicating with their partner who they say, like this woman said, is not listening, or, you know, they never get to express themselves because the other person is turning a deaf ear. But people only turn a deaf ear when disrespect comes in. People only turn a deaf ear and shut you out when you are not communicating effectively in the manner that is conducive to a positive conversation. If they feel like this conversation going to lead to an argument, they can't hear you. If they feel like you talking to them like they're a child, they can't hear you. If they feel like you are, dictating what should and should not be done, they cannot hear you. Let him communicate with you the way that you communicate with him, and let's see how long you would deal with that. You would realize, wow, he's a champion because he's been dealing with this for a long time, and he did it to me one time, and I was ready to pack my stuff. A lot of women are mindful of the way that they communicate with the people on their job. Okay, sometimes, like I said, sometimes this conversation bully be going over there and you be acting like you the one that signed a check and you disrespect your boss too. But other times, a lot of women will go to their jobs and they'll communicate. They're mindful of how they communicate with the customers on the phone. They're mindful of how they communicate with the bank teller. They're mindful of how they communicate with their children. And when it comes to their man, he gets everything else left over that they should have given somebody else that disrespected them somewhere else. They give it all to him. Because you're the constant in my life. You here. So you're just going to take this and absorb it, and it's not going to be a big deal. But it is. It is. I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.